Wash, talk, and decon.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. We have this beautiful Corvette in here that looks clean on camera. We know they always look clean, but it's got a few issues. It's got a bit of dirt on it, and we need to decontaminate it. We thought, why don't we do a start to finish wash, talk, and decontamination?
So I suppose we should probably start washing and talking, Ivan. That's the whole idea, right?
Right.
Why do we want to do a wash and talk? What's the principle? I see some soap scum on here, some interesting issues. We're going to be polishing and ceramic coating this, but a lot of people wonder, how long does it actually take to wash a vehicle? It looks easy on the internet.
It looks always easy on the internet, and actually it is easy. But that being said, we're going to be going around this vehicle and just having a nice conversation as we do it, and that is something you can do at home too. Get someone to help you wash your car. Wash their car. If two people get together, you wash both people's cars, it's a lot more fun.
I totally agree with you. I enjoy detailing with other people. It can be a little lonely sometimes. This is our Rinseless Wash Concentrate, Ivan. We dilute this 256 to 1, so 1 capful per gallon of concentrate. And I believe you have about, what, a gallon in there?
A gallon and a half.
Okay, so that's 1.5 capfuls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 4 milliliters to a liter for those that are counting outside the USA.
And it's worth noting, you are not treating this like a pressure washer, you're just trying to get it on the surface.
Right.
Sometimes I'm tempted to treat my Rinseless Wash sprayer like a pressure washer. Talk about the principles of getting this on the surface. What's that all about?
That's literally what we're doing, getting it on the surface. Once it's there, it's fine. Now, this vehicle, you'll see it in other contexts. We tried a lot of different products on it yesterday. You can see there's one product here, there's one over there, there's one there. And that's why Nick mentioned soap scum on the roof. We were doing a photo shoot using this vehicle. And in the photo shoot, it was quick. We have to, the camera guy, it's expensive. So we needed to do a lot of things quickly on this car. It got foamed, it got rinseless, it got, NV, it got wax, it got you name it.
It got quick beads. Yeah. There were a lot of things done. The hood has a ton of protection on it. Yeah. I think we got some extra, foam cannon soap here. Anyway, it's gonna be fun to wash this.
Yeah.
Some mysteries await in terms of how it's all gonna react.
Now, in my bucket, I have 3 gallons of water. 3 gallons of water equates 3 capfuls of Rinseless Wash. We have the Rinseless Wash that's been sitting on the surface for a minute or two. It's emulsifying the dirt, bringing it up, making sure that it's safe to wash.
Ivan, a lot of people will just hose their car off, or they will foam on and wash without using a hose. Wait, no hose?
No hose, no need.
Talk about the principle of when to use a hose, when not to.
If in your mind you're going, is it dirty enough for me to use a hose? The answer is always yes. In this case, it's not that dirty. Like I said, it got washed, it got all sorts of things done to it yesterday, but there's a lot of product residue on it. There's areas that, as Nick mentioned, we had soap residue from foaming just parts of it. So we're cleaning it as we go.
Dipping my sponge back in the bucket after I've used the red side and the black side. How often do you re-dip, Ivan?
When I've used both sides. And this vehicle being, I'd say 95% clean, not a big deal.
What's the principle between the red and the black foam? Why do we have 2 sides of the Legacy sponge?
For tracking, because it's actually the same foam. It's just for people to know that, I've used the red side, now I can use the black side, or I started with the black, finished with the red.
What do we know about this Corvette, Ivan?
Soon to be family heirloom, in the sense that it's the father that has it at the moment, and his daughter's already expressed that this would be a perfect car for the granddaughter.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's fun.
So he's keeping it in the family, maintaining it for that purpose.
No pressure on this Legacy sponge. It's very fat, isn't it? Talk about the principles of the sponge and why you designed it this way to work with Rinseless Wash.
Right. The thickness is to prevent pressure points. You know, the worst thing we can do in washing is exert pressure on our wash media. And if by accident you exert pressure on this, it's got a lot of sponge to it. It's got a lot of thickness, make it nice and safe.
Do you ever use the red side on a panel and then flip to the black side on the same panel? You don't go to the next one, you double side one panel?
Definitely. If the paint is very dirty or you're having a lot of accumulation on there, then yes. Because the sponge actually absorbs the rinseless off the surface.
And then what happens when you dunk it back in the bucket?
The sponge releases it into the bucket and we're safely ready to go.
Explained excellently, Ivan. Wait, I thought car washing took a lot longer than this. We're almost done.
Right, if this were just a wash, we'd just have to dry and we'd be done.
No drying aid?
No drying aid, because we have a drying aid in our hands. It's called Rinseless Wash.
I often refer to this area on the windshield and on the front hood, as the widow's peak.
Yeah.
It's really easy to leave this V that you don't get to, so it's always important, just get that V. You sometimes swipe like this, right? And then he'll swipe like that, and this always gets missed. Ceramic coating high spots, your wash, you're protected. It happens, guys, so just be aware of that.
Now the whole surface is washed, time to decontaminate. One spray of iron remover on my towel, one spray on the surface. Start with one quadrant of the quad fold towel. And there's a bit of contamination here. We can hear it.
Ivan, I'm getting a hose ready. How does that sound for a real-time wash and talk?
That sounds good.
Just in case we want to do hose. We could do pressure washer. I didn't know what you were up for, so I just grabbed the hose.
We can use a hose.
I was just feeling like doing your driveway, no fancy tools. I was feeling that kind of wash.
Yep. Perfect.
Although, the hose does introduce more water, Ivan. You wouldn't think it.
A lot more water.
Which Ivan doesn't like. He doesn't like wet feet. We don't like humidity in here.
No, and you know, the AC, it's a little warm out there and humid. We are in the Midwest.
So no pressure, I know it's humid. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of technique as I'm washing.
Yep.
No pressure on this towel. Like why do we use it with iron remover? What's happening?
So a vehicle needs to be decontaminated before polishing, and that's what we're going to be doing here. But this could also be your regular maintenance. And by regular, I don't mean you need to do this every week, every 3 to 6 months or so.
You can feel some of the contamination under the quad fold towel.
Yep.
For someone who's never used it before, how do they know what to trust in terms of what they feel, what they hear?
It really is intuitive the first time you take it across the panel. If there's contamination, you will feel it. It feels like little bumps, and then all of a sudden they go away. And you'll hear it as well.
Why do we decontaminate glass, Ivan?
We want to make it easy to clean, don't we?
Yes, we do.
After 4 sides, dunk into the wash bucket. Just like the sponge, it will release the contaminants that have pulled off the surface. And we're back to one quadrant, one spray, one area.
It's very easy to see where you've been with this method. If you've used Rinseless Wash especially, because it kind of foams up.
Yep.
Any technique in terms of where to start, where to go, kind of methodology?
I like to start at the top and then work my way down. And these doors are long, that's why I'm breaking them into 2 parts. And the lowers are some of the most contaminated areas on a vehicle.
You hear a lot of people say, wash your wheels first. We haven't even talked about wheels yet.
When we were doing our demos yesterday, these wheels got washed, and washed again. So we won't be washing the wheels on this one. But as you can see, even unwashed, they're extremely well maintained. So it's not really a concern.
When would we wash the wheels then?
When rinseless washing, it really doesn't matter when you're doing it. Because we're not getting out a hose, we're not spraying everywhere. Therefore, not a big deal.
Right, it's not Okay, so what's the principle then when you're doing a foam cannon wash to do the wheels first?
Well, for me, when I'm doing a foam cannon wash, first thing is foam the car, including the wheels. And if they're really bad, we'll use all clean in a foamer. Then we rinse it away because we want to take the grit off the surface of the car. We also want to take it off the wheels. Then we refoam. And after we've refoamed, then we clean the wheels while we're letting the foam just dwell on the surface a little bit longer.
It all makes sense, Ivan.
Yeah.
Again, no pressure on this decon towel, just letting it all work in your favor. And the paint is feeling smooth. The smell of iron remover is in the air. It's a good day.
Yeah. Nick likes the smell of iron remover.
And then you can just put your decon towel right back in your wash bucket, let it soak.
Yep.
I like it in my wash bucket. It's a nice place for it to soak. It's feels like home to me.
The reasons Nick's is foamy, mine isn't, that's an area of the car that we had a little extra foam on and it sort of stayed there. That's why we have a little more sudsing on his side. So you're picking up leftover soap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or it's possible that my bucket had leftover iron remover. Because I think yesterday I was spraying like iron remover for the camera, and I think I did like 10 sprays and put the decon towel back in there. I don't think I had any rinseless in there. Anyway, so
it's possible.
There's a lot of reasons why this would look that way.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with our photo shoot yesterday, so I just want to address that. All right, Ivan, what's next?
Rinsing off the iron remover.
You prefer a pressure washer, but I think a hose is more audio friendly, right? If we're gonna do this real time.
Yeah, it is. The advantage of the pressure washer is it uses a lot less water, but I'll work quickly to try to mitigate that.
So you're not doing shower setting, you want a little PSI there, or what's going on? What do you like that setting for?
Well, this setting uses less water.
Oh, yes, okay. And then when you're done, I can follow right behind you, Ivan.
Yeah.
With America's favorite water spot remover.
Not just America's.
We're having fun on this July morning. When are you watching this video? July of 2030? Let us know. Write in the comments below. You know, I like the fact that we do educational content because it's sort of evergreen, right? Like these principles aren't going to go away. Even as new products come out, even as new cars come out, is there anything here that like won't be a safe wash method in 2 years, Ivan?
Not at all.
All right. Are you good for me to start spraying water spot remover?
Go for it.
All right, so I'm going to spray our water spot remover. This is the step that we call the mineral cleanse. And if you're not using water spot remover before you polish and ceramic coating, you could be missing out because there's embedded minerals in your clear coat that we like to use this product to activate in terms of chemistry and then remove through agitation and rinsing. Ivan, why do we love water spot remover here at DIY Detail?
Well, it makes the polishing actually easier. And that's something that people don't realize. When you have those minerals on the surface, that's what can lead, in some cases, to micro marring, things like that. And your surface is never quite as bright, never as clean as after you've done this. Once you've done this, your surface is as clean as it can be.
I have a habit to overuse product. Is overusing my water spot remover the end of the world? Like what should I know about this product if I'm spraying it willy-nilly all over the paint?
It's your wallet.
It's your wallet, there you go. I've got a short nap towel. You could use a plush buffing towel. All we want to do though.
Actually, no, Nick.
No?
Short nap towel.
You like short nap. Talk to me.
We're not trying to put water on the surface. We're trying to spread the product. So using a fluffy towel, you are going to be adding additional water on the surface. Oh yeah, and your bucket is full of suds. That's why you're getting a lot more suds in there.
Yeah, I think it's full of some mystery. I mean, there was no ceramic protection in that bucket, but
no.
I had taken the iron remover on the decon towel for our photographer, and I think sprayed at least 20 sprays on there and then put it back in the bucket. Now, there was no rinseless in the bucket, so the rinseless wash wasn't like too much rinseless and everything. Yeah, anyway, the story is unfolding. We have reasons why. I told Ivan, once we press record, there's no redos. This is the wash and talk.
Yep.
Unscripted, unedited. and full of fun. Why don't we flip sides of the towel, Ivan, as we rinseless wash and we do our water spot remover step?
We're spreading the water spot remover. We're not trying to take it off the surface. We're trying to make sure it stays on the surface. And that's why you want to use a short nap, very well wrung out towel. And yes, I'm going from the bottom to the top. Not a big deal because we have washed, we've decontaminated this surface. I'm not worried about picking up any grit on this vehicle. We use water spot remover on the glass as well, very important. We want that glass to be extra clean.
What I like about this step is nobody will ever know you did it.
No.
And that's kind of like life. Like, what do you do when no one else is watching? Do you do the hard thing because it's the right thing to do, or do you take the easy way out? This is not hard, but it's an extra step that your customer will never know you did, that no one will ever see, and yet it's the right way to do this, Ivan.
Yeah.
Let's say we don't use water spot remover before polishing and coating. Is it gonna affect the ceramic coating? You mentioned it could affect how you polish, but what are the worst case scenarios if you don't use this?
Worst case scenario is you left a water spot under the surface that you didn't see. When you start polishing and you didn't remove the minerals, you're actually gonna drive those minerals deeper into the clear coat, and then you're gonna have a water spot under your coating if you're putting a coating on. From here, we take our towel, we wring it out to get the water spot remover out of it. Let me do this over the drain. And those that have seen us squeegeeing relentlessly in here, yes, we have a drain. We also have a speed bump for the water. And then we'll rinse this out later, but we store these here for future reference, and we can rinse the vehicle again. And speaking of squeegeeing, Nick, we have water making it escaping from us.
Oh, it's about that time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I take full responsibility having proposed the hose. But again, as the editor most of the time, Sylvia edits a bunch of videos too, but I know in the washing talks, if we get the pressure washer, it's just too loud. It's just too loud. What are you focusing on in the rinse stage here?
Getting everywhere. From the top down.
Top down, getting everywhere. When Ivan gets a little reticent, when he doesn't talk as much, he's concentrating on delivering for the people, because next thing you know, someone's gonna comment that they saw a video of Ivan in 2016 doing it a different way. You know who you are out there. Ivan's being watched, and he takes it very seriously to really educate you all in the right way. So,
well, and also one thing we do on this channel that some channels don't do is we actually detail these cars from start to finish. It's not just for the camera, because these are real people's cars going back to those real people. So we don't half-ass it. And we treat this like I used to treat my shops. Basically, we're doing everything that needs to be done to the vehicle. We're doing it completely and from start to finish.
And we also take pride in our work.
Yeah.
I think about that. I'm like, this is someone's car. They know DIY Detail touched it. I'm not gonna do the half job. I'm gonna go all the way. I have pride in what I do, and I hope folks out there, you do too. So, what do you think of the, I like these calipers, the yellow calipers.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Yeah, the Grand Sport was a nice model.
Ivan, what's your favorite pressure washer hose setting? What are you feeling right now? No silence. We got to help the people.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Basically, the setting was good. We got the vehicle all hosed off. Let me put the hose away.
And as Ivan does that, one thing you don't realize is when you've used water spot remover, when you've properly decontaminated the paint, it's actually easier to dry. And could you explain why that is? Because I've noticed it.
Well, contaminated paint holds the water on the paint. Oh, you grab my towel, I'm gonna grab yours.
Oh, you already set one up for me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
One thing as I'm doing this, I realize, I say it sometimes, I don't always do it. I like to wash, or I like to dry the windows first, because the drying blanket, I feel like when it gets just a little wet, when you prime it on the windows first, on the glass, then it actually dries better. Like that first pass wasn't as efficient as a more wet towel. Is there a reason why that works like that, Ivan?
Yeah, it's just a capillary reaction.
And the towel drag works nicely. Towel technique for the people, Evan, you got anything for them?
Yeah, make sure your towel does not touch the ground. Make sure your towel does not touch the tires. Now, you have cleaned the wheels and tires, but you're not necessarily cleaning the tread of the tires. And if the towel happens to get there by accident, well, that's not a good thing.
Some folks like to grab their master blaster, their leaf blower, their air compressor, and they like to dry it with air because the whole thought is, all right, drying is when I have the most scratch risk.
Right.
Your thoughts?
You do have a bit of scratch risk when drying. We are not using a drying aid here, so yes, we do have a scratch risk, but we also know we're polishing this car in the next video.
Would you use rinseless wash as a drying aid, and if so, how?
Just spray the rinseless wash back on the surface like we did at the beginning, and you can do that.
Now that feels nice, but it doesn't feel as nice as like C6 Mist or Envy ceramic sealant. How is it providing lubrication if it doesn't maybe feel like as smooth as a drying aid that comes in a bottle?
The same lubrication that you're getting when you're using your wash media.
Okay, which does feel nice. It's just, I'm just so used to that fresh scent out of the bottle of C6 Mist as I dry my ride. But I think that's probably between my ears.
There's a good chance.
Okay, Ivan, we're real close to being done here. How many rinseless washes have you done in your day?
Thousands, easily.
And what are some of the biggest mistakes having done thousands of vehicles with rinseless wash that people make?
Using microfiber as a wash media. That's a big
Really?
mistake. Yeah.
Because it grabs and just holds?
Microfiber is designed to grab and hold onto dirt. When you put it back in the bucket, the sponge or the brush, when you put them back in the bucket, they release the dirt. The microfiber wants to hold onto it. Also, too many pressure points with the microfiber towel. Even if you're folding it and getting as thick as you want, when you're washing, if there's the potential of having a little bit of grit on the surface, you want to make sure to mitigate as much of that as possible. That's where the sponge comes in.
The Legacy sponge.
Or the perfectly safe brush.
Now, I'd say we're done, but that would be a lie. You're not done until the drip catcher is on your side mirrors here.
Yeah, and the drip catcher is a magnetic towel, and people are going, but it's a Corvette. The magnets aren't gonna stick. Well, they actually stick to each other.
There's a lot of places that vehicles can drip, but for whatever reason, it feels like the drip coming from, the mirrors, it's just the most pernicious. It like etches into your paint. It haunts you after you've done all the right things.
Yep.
And so we're just gonna make sure the drip catches on there as we continue to make sure everything is dry on the paint. Hey, it was a wash and talk. We want to show them how long it took.
Yep.
We could wipe down these wheels.
We will, but
That's pretty much it.
yeah, and we have another video on this vehicle coming, maybe two. One of them is polishing, the other one is coating.
Well, polishing sounds like a delicious subject to sink your teeth into. So if folks want to learn more about polishing paint,
It's right here.